Thing. When you see something like this, like an animal in a cage or an animal being hit by a human being or slaughtered, like how does that make you feel? What sort of thoughts do you have when you see that?
Yeah.
Feel bad about for the animals, for yourself, like
For the animals, actually.
yeah.
Because it's really bad what's going on with them.
I know, it's really hard. And I think deep down inside, the majority of us have that endless love and that compassion to extend our non-human animal friends. We have dogs, we have cats, we have some animals that we cuddle with and we take on walks. We know how to love. We know how to love human beings as well. But I think majority of people don't think twice about some of the farmed animals, the animals that we eat for food or that we wear for clothing. And that's, you know, I grew up for 24 years of my life eating a lot of animals and hunting and fishing, that sort of thing. Do you eat animals? Yeah, hunting as well.
We love meat.
Really? Which animals do you eat? Sheep, lamb, cows, pigs. Do you do?
No pigs.
Okay. Why not pigs?
It's forbidden.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually in our religion there's a kind way
To kill the animals.
to kill the
Okay.
animals, so we you don't feel bad when you kill him. Like even like you kill him in a good
There
way.
is rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's rules how to kill the
It's
to
bad,
be
actually. There's rules.
yeah,
Yeah.
to kill him like
Even
like
to hunt.
you can't kill a sheep in front of another sheep. In our
Okay, and why is that? Well, tell me more about that. Like, I'm
yeah,
interested.
because, like he will see like I don't know how to explain it why, but he will see that other animal, like he will get scared of what happened. That's why. Even in our religion, if like it has to be a reason. Like
Okay.
if you will eat him, you should kill him, but in a good way. You don't have to slaughter him in a bad way.
Yeah. What does a good way look like to you to kill an animal?
No.
I don't know. يعني there is like you must touch the knife in a way. I don't know.
Okay. It's halal slaughter, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
what you're talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Okay, because I've done a little bit of research on halal and understand that there's prayers that go behind it, there's a reason that go behind
Yeah.
it, there's no animals in sight,
Yeah.
sort of like without them knowing, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people will talk about halal slaughter, religious slaughter, kosher slaughter, halal, and they'll say, they'll usually use the word like humane with it, right? Or kind way or a good way. And I used to think that as well, like go and buy humanely
Yeah.
killed beef. But then, like, what does humane mean to you? Or like, what does kind mean to you?
Like you kill him with a good way. Like you don't kill him like slaughter him or put him in a cage or
Okay.
like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like okay, you as a human being you have to eat meat. You need
Sure.
meat, you need protein, you need this stuff. But you have to be kind with the animals too. You don't have to kill him like in a bad way or kill him like this stuff.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, and most people I speak with are against the factory farm setting. I think it's very easy to see this systematic way of killing animals, of breeding billions and billions and killing them like this. And then when you go to the humane side or the halal side or the kosher side, people do use the justification that, hey, there's a better way to do it, right? But this is the question I always pose to people. Is there, well, let's say this first. Do you think we need to eat animals today to survive?
I think no.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's,
You could be vegan, you could be vegetarian.
yeah, of course. So you know what vegan is, right?
Yeah,
then,
yeah, I know.
And I used to think I needed to eat animals. Like literally, that's how I thought. I was born and raised in LA, and it was just I needed to do this and eat fast food 24/7.
LA?
Even if
From
you
LA,
come to
yeah.
our country, you'll see that our culture is all about sheep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of-
Well, if you look all over the world, different cultures have raised different animals for food,
Yeah.
and you go to Latin America and it's very steak forward, very cow forward.
Yeah.
You go to certain places in the world, Australia as well, sheep for wool and sheep as well to consume. But if we don't need to eat animals, if we don't need to eat animals to survive, then it's unnecessary, right? So any killing, right? If the animal would rather choose life over death, would be unnecessary. And do you think then it would still be good or humane for them?
like,
And no judgment here. I like chatting with people. Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah. Of course.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's bad. Sometimes, like, some people need to eat meat.
Yeah.
So, I think you will kill him just to eat him. Like, you will not kill him to make him suffer. That's different.
Yeah.
You will kill him to eat him, okay? Because, like I said, there's people need protein like this. But if you will kill him to eat him, I think this is different.
Yeah.
Then, there's people like take animals and make them suffer. That's that's this is the bad way. Like this,
أصلاً we cannot make an animal to suffer.
yeah, we
Yeah.
we have this in our religion. This is
Yeah.
forbidden. Like to make a human suffer and also animal suffer.
And why is that? What's the sort of moral reason or religious reason to not making a being suffer? Like, is it just because we know it's wrong or we know it's immoral?
Because like it's not like I don't know how to say it in English, but this is
When you think about it, you can't.
like even
Yeah.
if you say it's not in Islam, you as a human,
Yeah.
you will see humans, an animal suffer, you'll feel bad.
Of course.
Why that's why religion forbids this kind of stuff. You don't need to make a human suffer. You don't need to make an animal suffer.
It's beautiful to hear that because I think we need a lot more love, compassion,
Yeah.
justice, respect in this world,
Even
right?
though if you read our Quran, you will see all of this.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is all in the Quran.
Yeah, and then it's just the acceptable part is halal because of the rules and regulations and the prayer behind it, right? And yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Like even though like we don't have like to take an animal like a dog like a pet, okay? But like when in our religion, if you see a dog like he's thirsty, you have to give him water.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why like our religion there's so much passion and kind toward the animals. That's why.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I haven't really been educated enough on like Islamic law and the Quran. I think it's
And we
beautiful
cannot see
to.
this because we don't kill the animals this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't see this
This
media.
is
Sure.
so aggression. That's why.
Yeah, and I think most people, like we talked about, can agree that the big systematic way, the factor way of killing is most people are against it.
Yeah.
But then you're going to go to the local farms or the halal or kosher slaughter, and if we do it differently, I think people are more okay deep down inside saying, hey, if they're killed in a nice way, a kind way, a compassionate way, maybe with a prayer over it, then maybe it's okay. But imagine being in their position.
It's not okay.
It's not.
Yeah, okay,
it's
yeah.
not good. But like even like for me, okay, like we go farms that will kill like, in Islam ways. Okay?
Yes.
The animals there are treated in a good way.
Yeah.
They will not be treated like in a bad way, like suffering and like making
Putting them in a cage.
Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah, and I've heard a lot about that there are, and I've met farmers who love their animals, who
Yeah.
take care of their animals, who give their animals names.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they still send them to slaughter.
You know, we graduate, they do. we graduate, they
like
do.
this, we have this kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
in our
Like a
culture.
tradition?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
And our
not
weddings.
not in Islamic way. It's in tradition, in
Yeah.
our culture. Like if you like if in a wedding, they will
Rice and sheep.
sheep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's from
We
ages.
have people that
Yeah.
they don't eat animals. They are
Like
vegan
for
or-
me, I don't eat meat.
Yeah, okay.
She eats only chicken.
Yeah, yeah. So you eat some animals but not others, and that's probably for religious and maybe your
No,
own,
it's like my own.
yeah, your own
Actually,
personal.
I saw him in front of me. That's why.
So she can.
Yeah, that's why I can.
I get it. So you saw a cow being killed in front of you.
Sheep.
A sheep. Okay.
I saw him in front of me. That's why I changed my identity.
Of course, because it's within, I think it's within all human beings to have the compassion, the kindness, the respect, the love, and to be able to extend that justice and equality to all beings.
Yeah.
But throughout life, depending on where we're raised in the world, culturally speaking, religiously speaking, we have traditions.
Yeah.
We have cultures.
Yeah.
In the United States of America, 100 years ago, women didn't have the right to vote.
Yeah.
That was legal and that was normal, and that's what people sort of lived by. But then as we evolved and we
Yeah.
changed, people opened up their minds, they challenged
Like
different
me, I
beliefs.
don't love animals.
Yeah.
I can't.
I adore
I'm
animals.
scared. I can't.
No,
I can't. But
Yeah, but you wouldn't wish harm, unnecessary
Yeah.
harm on an
If
animal.
I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
animal
though-
is suffering, I will give him a water. Of
course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can't. I'm scared.
Yeah. So then what are your thoughts on veganism then? Since you don't eat certain animals, like what are your honest thoughts on veganism?
Of
course.
I don't know like specific thing about it.
I read about
but
it.
it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really good.
What about it to you is good?
Yeah, you don't need animals actually. You
Yeah.
can substitute anything with this. يعني with
Kind of
yeah,
lifestyle.
but it's hard.
Yeah. Well, so what's hard about it for you? Because I agree with you. Like veganism.
If you like meat, it will be hard.
So taste, right? Convenience.
Yes,
Like
we are.
for 24 years of my life, I was eating fast food 2 times a day. I was eating 3 eggs every morning. I was drinking literally 2 glasses of milk when I got home. No one, majority of vegans don't go vegan because we didn't like the way animals tasted, right? We went vegan because of ethical reasons.
Yeah.
Because we watched this footage. We saw an animal being slaughtered and it didn't sit well.
It's a lifestyle. How do you change your lifestyle to become a vegan?
So it's a great question. So for me, it started for selfish reasons about my own health. I was doing a lot of research on how unhealthy animal products were for the human body, on how milk was instantly turning our blood acidic and was a big inflammatory, and how we're the only species that drinks another species' milk. So I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, we're not drinking dog's milk and stuff like that. We're just drinking certain species' milk. And I started to research about the health, and I had a lot of stomach issues and really bad acne. And I said, you know what? I want to try something to take better care of myself. And we all know, growing up as a kid, my family was like, eat your vegetables before you get dessert. We know eating vegetables is healthy. So I just instantly switched to veganism, but realized that it was a path for me. I didn't, like you said, it's a lifestyle. It's an ideology. It's not just a diet. So in the beginning of my vegan journey, I had a vegan diet, but I was still wearing their skin and their fur. I was still supporting industries that were exploiting animals. Like, it was a bigger picture, but then I watched a documentary like this. Kind of like how you witnessed the sheep being slaughtered. I witnessed this footage and I was in shock. I said, I used to hunt, I killed animals myself, I used to fish, and I was so disconnected, and I called myself an animal lover. I would go home and cuddle on the floor with my dogs and my cats. Right? It's disconnect.
Yeah.
I don't think people are necessarily bad people for eating animals. I just think we're doing stuff that's going against our own values and beliefs of love, compassion, justice, respect. The same way you said, if I see an animal suffering, I'm going to help them. Why? Because your values on the inside are love, compassion, justice, respect, equality, to take care of the planet and every being on the planet, right? We have to be more compassionate to our own species as well, but think of what's going to happen when we start treating the non-human animals on this planet a little bit better. So challenges, veganism being hard, taste, convenience, what else? What do you think is like your biggest challenge or roadblock as to like why veganism is difficult for you? Like just the thought of it.
Like she's saying, like she will change her food. Like,
how do you change the food?
yeah.
So first and foremost, I think the easiest way to change any habit. So like if you want to quit smoking, if you want to quit drinking, if you want to start exercising.
Thank God we don't do anything to that.
So that's perfect. So if you want to,
healthy from now.
that's beautiful. If you want to quit a habit that you're not happy with or start a new one, we have to find a why. A reason for why we want to start the new habit or quit the old one. So for me, with being completely vegan, an ethical vegan, and someone who's an activist, who's going and speaking up for the animals, I made my why about them. So veganism is all about the animals, because you can have a hamburger once a month and it's probably not going to be bad for the planet. You can have a hamburger once a month, it's probably not going to be bad for your health, right? But you can't have a hamburger once a year and not have it impact the life of a living being. Like, you eat one hamburger, a cow had to die. So I made the why about the animals. So anytime I tried to pick up an animal product, I thought about the victim. I put myself in their perspective, their shoes, right? And everything that went through my head was like, oh crap, like this animal, if I'm choosing to pay for this product, my dollar's a vote, right? We're voting with our dollar. Do I want to support an industry that's breeding, enslaving, and killing an animal? Or do I want to support an industry that's not? And so it's tough, it's hard, especially in a culture and a religion that has rules and regulations for it, like halal, because you're raised to see it differently.
And vegetarian.
Yeah, we have.
Vegan.
Yeah.
And lots of people are vegan.
Actually, I tried the burger vegan.
It's good?
Yeah, it was really good.
But in the restaurant, like if I'm at home,
If you're, so to answer your question, so this is what I did, because right when I went vegan, I was like, oh, what do I cook?
Yeah.
I thought I had to eat beans and rice and that's it. And so what I did was, in the first month, I was eating out a lot, right? I was going and getting some unhealthy vegan burgers, vegan pizzas, vegan sushi, the transitional vegan food, right? And I think that's okay. Like, go get the foods that you love and that you know are gonna taste really good, and then learn that, hey, if there's all these options out there, go to Google. This is what I recommend everyone do. Type in your favorite, let's just say it's cheesy lasagna.
Okay.
Now put the word vegan before it. Vegan cheesy lasagna recipe. 100 recipes are going to come up, right? If you like falafel and hummus or pasta carbonara, right? I lived in the Middle East for a while. I was eating only falafel and hummus when I was vegan there. And type vegan falafel and hummus recipe, right? Well, think hummus is vegan already,
I tried
but
to become vegetarian, but I stopped.
yeah. So first, because I think it's really important that you said that, because why did you first want to? Was it health? Was it ethics? Health.
Skin, my skin.
Okay, which is good. A lot of people choose to change their diet and lifestyle choices because of health, because we want to take care of ourselves. And so why did you stop? Was it just hard?
The food.
Did you lose options or not like the options? You just didn't know what to cook. So that's why I go to Google all the time and I just type in my favorite recipes and put vegan in front of there. There's a website called Oh She Glows. It's an amazing recipe website that has like thousands of recipes, simple recipes too, a lot of them that can be cooked under 30 minutes with like under 15 ingredients. Like, I'm a simple guy. So what I did in the beginning, after I was realizing I was spending too much at restaurants, I was like, all right, let's go for some of the cheapest foods on the planet. Rice, beans, lentils, chickpeas, tofu, tempeh, fruits, vegetables. And I said, how can I get creative? So for breakfast, I made a smoothie, or I had oatmeal, or I got vegan yogurt with fruit, right? Oatmeal's great. My oatmeal is massive in the morning and very inexpensive. And then for lunch, I was like, all right, let's pick my protein. I hated tofu before, now I love tofu. I hated kale, now I love kale. Your palate changes. You adapt to the new foods, right? It's about getting creative, but probably the reason, and this is my belief, the reason why you didn't stick with vegetarian and experiment with veganism is because you didn't have a strong enough why. If you only make it about health, it's so easy to have a cheat day. Let's say you're vegan. Let's say you're vegan for 6 months. You're like, only for health? Cool, I'll have one burger. Not going to be bad, right? Make your why about the animals. Veganism's an ethical choice. Now your cheat day comes around, I'm going to go have a hamburger. Then you start thinking about the footage. You start seeing the sheep that was killed, right? You start seeing the fish that are being taken from the ocean. That's why what I tell people all the time, do some research, watch some videos, educate yourself. There's only so much I can tell you, but I really appreciate having this conversation. I love hearing different insight and perspective because I think this is how we grow, this is how we strengthen humanity as well. And so if your biggest challenge is what food to eat, then that is like the easiest challenge to overcome. It's going to take some time because now you got to go to the grocery store and you're going to be shopping for different foods. It's like, oh, now instead of the meat products and the dairy products, I got to go to the vegetable aisle. But as you do it for a month, as you do it for 2 months, it gets so much easier. But what I'll do is, because could you see yourself trying veganism and being vegan? Is that something you would want?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I think I can.
Let me give you this then, because I have a good. So this is some in English, some in Czech. So the English is going to be on the right. So I'll give you both of these. What I would recommend doing is this website. Do you have Facebook?
No, I don't use it.
You don't use it, but do you have it?
No, I forget my password.
Okay, so what I would
Instagram, everything is Facebook.
Okay, so what I would recommend doing is if you go to Vegan22, it is a free challenge on Facebook. So I always tell people create a Facebook account just to do this challenge. And it's a 22-day challenge and it puts you in a group with a bunch of people who are doing it together. So a bunch of people who are experimenting and wanting to try veganism. A lot of people who stopped by today will try the challenge, but there's mentors in there. There's doctors, there's nutritionists, there's people who put recipes every day. They'll be like, hey, here's a new recipe to try. And this way you have a support system because it's so much easier to do something when you have a support system. But you two have each other. So it's easy to do it. Because if it's something that you want to do, I think the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life has been finding veganism. Why? Because I used to not be the nicest human being. I wasn't nice to my own humans. I wasn't not my humans, but I wasn't nice to my own friends and family a lot of the time. I wasn't nice to some non-human animals by hunting and fishing. When I went vegan and made it about the animals, I tapped into a part of my heart, honestly, like not trying to get all sad and sappy, but I tapped into a part of my heart that I never knew existed. So much love, so much compassion, so much respect and justice. Like I understood that from like a bigger perspective, like what we need for this world. You know?
Actually, like the stuff we're saying, it's all mentioned in our religion.
Amazing.
You should read.
Yeah, read the Quran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Quran, everything, like, okay, you will see stuff in the world, they will say Islam, but no.
Yeah.
No, like Islam is literally, it's about morals.
We have bad people.
Amazing. We have
like,
bad people in Los Angeles.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
But, like, Islam is about morals, how to be good, how to be nice, how to be even good to humans and to animals.
That's beautiful. Wonderful. I appreciate you taking the time. And so on here as well, there's a bunch of, on the English side, a bunch of free Netflix and YouTube documentaries. If you're interested in health, What the Health is a great one. Love watching 101 Reasons to Go Vegan on YouTube. Just amazing resources here. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping. I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good one. Bye. Nice to meet you too.